Halfway through Group B now already. We are now about to find out who's going to be the first seed of this group, but no one decided into the round of 16 just yet. So time to talk about the match coming up. It is going to be Elfie versus Hydra. Nate, welcome to the desk, of course, for today. And let's talk about this a little bit. Now, I want to take your look on it because we've talked about it a lot on the desk. Hydra. You know, favorite in Group B. Yeah, coming back. I mean, every season that's been kind of the theme so far in 2015. He made it happen in Season 2, very close in Season 1. Where does he stand right now? I mean, are you also in agreement that, yeah, you know, probably like 90%, maybe more, Hydra is going to be first seed in Group B?
I mean, I consider myself a part of Root as much as any of these guys. I'm all on the Hydra train right here, man. I'm looking at a Season 3 WCS championship for him already. He's unstoppable.
I mean, let's talk about that a little bit because Polt mentioned yesterday, like half jokingly, well, you know, I think we can all agree that I'm the only one who can beat Hydra, but at the same time, he's the only one who can beat me. Do you think that stands true for Hydra too? He's like, yeah, you know what? Pretty much no one can beat me right now, especially coming off of the win in Season 2.
I don't think so. I think a lot of the foreigners actually have a pretty good shot. I mean,
against Hydra?
A lot of the Western players.
Compared to Polt. Polt looked shaky yesterday.
Well, I completely agree that Polt looks shakier than the other guys, but Hydra has been, as far as like results go, the more consistent player. The only inconsistency was the series against Maro, which could be kind of argued as a little weird. But Polt dropped more series to non-Korean players. I mean, he dropped more series in the round of 32.
So who would you give the best shot at beating Hydra? Any foreigner?
Anybody in WCS?
Or Polt? Yes. Those are the options.
Oh, well, there's no more Bunny. That's tough. That's tough. I would say Polt has a better chance than any of the other non-Korean players for sure.
Okay. Obviously Polt in that one, he was trying to boost himself up a little bit. Where like, oh, Hydra's the only one who could beat me. But Hydra coming in, also when we saw him play against Kelliger, even if he was favored, it seemed like he wasn't taking any chances. He was playing the same StarCraft that he has been for quite some time. Didn't see any slip-ups or hiccups. Whereas, you know, Group A, we were like, well, it was a good day of StarCraft. At the same time, a little bit of shakiness here and there from all four players. So far, Hydra looking solid. So let's talk about Elfie then. Where does Elfie stand right now? Because he's coming in, he's replacing Thermal, and he had that an interesting match to open up Group B with Star.
As soon as you said that, me and Nate were just like,
I don't know, Ken.
I mean, I hope for the best for Elfie at this point, but it's like it's an uphill battle of greatest proportion.
You know, I'm just hoping that Elfie did a good job of preparing his Protoss versus Terran, as there's a very good chance he may end up playing against Diego in the deciding match. Honestly, you're going up against Hydra. Give it your A game, but realistically speaking, like Elfie just doesn't have the results that say, yeah, I'm going to come in here and upset the best player in this league.
I mean, yeah, I think the whole point stands that it's tough for anyone that we're going to have in this group to be like, well, they have a really good shot at this upset. It's a tough one. But what's your take on it? We talked about this earlier in some of the other matches, especially obviously Kelliger versus Hydra. Would you say, Elfie, you know what, just try your best, see where you stand? Or, you never know, right? Go for that 1%, 2%. Go for something crazy against Hydra, see where you end up.
Go crazy.
There's no reason not to.
Go big here. Go huge.
Like, if you think about it, on paper, if someone is better than you, you should never beat them in a straight-up game. So you might as well do something crazy because it's not like his next opponent is going to be a Zerg anyway, right? It would be a Terran if he loses.
Oh, that's true.
And it's what do you really have to lose? You go ham. If you win big. Everyone talks about how crazy you are, how crazy, Protoss, OP, whatever.
Yes.
But you get to be a god for a day. Whereas if you lose, it's like, okay, well, obviously no one was going to beat Hydra. Let's see if you can take out Kelliger.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, Hydra on screen right now looks super
stats.
comfortable, and yeah, the stats are pretty staggering. 16-3 so far in the 2015 WCS. Came in strong in Season 1, almost took it, got taken down by Pope, but got his revenge in Season 2 in the middle of the tournament, then went on to win it all, defeating Little Bow in the finals. And here he is. I mean, overall, seeing him backstage and whatnot, he seemed just pretty content with where everything was. No issues. Looked very comfortable just waiting for his next game. He was watching the last one pretty carefully and just making sure that he's ready for anything that can happen in the upcoming matches.
Yeah, I expect him to just play super safe standard and just react. Like, maybe scout a little bit earlier, be willing to sack an Overlord or two just to, like, be sure what's happening. The maps are going to be interesting, but all in all, Elfie's going to, like, I'm thinking, like, crazy, like, REM one base.
I want that.
Immortal all in.
I want to see that because when I think about the players that have played against Hydra in this group, obviously Kelliger didn't do anything crazy, but he also didn't do the same builds that he ended up doing against Starbuck, who played very differently to him. My question, I guess maybe you know a bit more about this, Huck, is Elfie the kind of guy to actually do the crazy stuff? Like, would
Yes.
is he more likely
Yes.
than Kellezer would have been?
Yes, 100%. He's the guy that's going to proxy gate PVT.
That's
In
pretty
base.
bold play.
Yeah, in base. That he will do that. The question is whether he actually practiced it, to be honest. Because I don't think he necessarily completely prepared for this. I mean, he was a replacement.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
last
there wasn't.
minute.
Yeah.
Did
didn't have
he-
all the
did he
time.
actually
Did anybody
go-
prepare for a Protoss in this group?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
We don't know.
that is the big question, of course, in everyone's mind. But it's the same boat for Elfie, right? He wasn't. He didn't have all the time in the world. And let's look at the map picks. Coda slips through, and as we always mention, I mean, pretty standard map. Hydra's going to pick that up right away. So I want to start it off with as
Normal.
stable of a game as possible.
Yeah, and even Cactus Valley, it's a big map. It's a normal map. And it's just suited to macro play. I'm actually surprised to see Elfie vetoing out Moonlight Madness because it is such a good PvZ map.
Now, on that point, though, I mean, I think what you just mentioned briefly, and of course what Jeff mentioned earlier, In Control mentioned in the cast, is that at the same time, you don't want to risk going out of your comfort zone just for the sake of trying something crazy, right? Because you're like, hey, you know what? Well, let's try this crazy map because it's favored and I can do a little bit newer things, and then you're like, wait, shoot, how does this work against? I haven't done it in a while, or I've only tried it a couple of times. It could have an effect on you and backfire.
If you have a pocket strategy that you don't use as much, that you wouldn't be comfortable in like a big money match, I can understand that. But if you're up against a wall that you would never be able to beat doing what you normally
Still
do,
worth it?
you
Yes.
might as well try.
That's fair enough. I mean, some
It's-
of it, of course, depends on where you stand on it.
It comes down to how much pride Elfie
Yeah,
has to
I
be
think
on.
that's the
because,
big line
Because
here.
you're sitting there and you're thinking, how embarrassed do I have to be to actually try something that crazy?
Well, I think at the same time, if you take a loss to Hydra, it's not going to be too hurtful. Well, here we go. It's going to be for the first seed of Group B between these two players right now.
Hydra this, Hydra that. But I think you guys might have all forgot about the original Cat Godfather, Elfie himself. And he is starting things off a little bit spicy here, Kevin.
Yep, let's just jump straight on in as we are loading into Coda. And as you guys may be able to see already, something is not right, but let's go ahead and introduce the players first. On the right one side of Coda, the reigning champ himself, it is Hydra. Of course, rapping root for root, enjoying himself in Northern California.
And his opponents, hailing from Finland, home of some of the deadliest death metal there is, it is Elfie.
And
Now he's going for proxy gates, but he's getting drone scouted. How bad is this?
What a shocker that Elfie is going for a proxy gate. It could be a proxy gate and a forge, knowing Elfie.
That would give him a better chance, I would imagine, because right now, Hydra is like, okay, look, I'm the best guy here. I expect stuff like this. And make no mistake, guys, when he sees those drones and no pylon from the natural, he's not like, well, maybe it's a cannon rush. No, he knows this is proxy gates.
Yep, but it could be both, because this is Elfie.
It is both.
Damn.
But I guarantee he's not, I mean, he's not thinking Gateway Forge. So this gives Elfie a little bit more of a chance. Like if it was just 2 gateways right now, I'm ready to write it off. This is a quick, easy win for Hydra.
And what I like about this from Hydra is Hydra's also making a small adjustment, right? If Hydra goes up against CJ Hero, he won't drone scout that early. You know, he's going to play it different. He's going to try to cut every corner he can. Going up against Elfie, Hydra knows he's approaching this series. I'm the better player. If this game reaches the 15-minute mark, it's very unlikely I will ever lose. So what we are going to see over here instead is a very awkward cannon rush. By now, Hydra's probably wondering, what on earth is this guy doing? This doesn't make any sense. Now he's going to spot the gateway in the Zealot, and now he's suddenly like, okay, I sort of see what's going on. But he has 6 links on the way already. And as long as he stops these cannons, Hydra's going to be more than fine.
These drones are so smart. Because at first glance, you'd be like, well, these drones can't possibly stand up to the Zealot. They're not here to stand up to the Zealot. They're here to buy time. This cannon only just now going down means that these 6 Zerglings are going to come out and not have to fight both a Zealot and a cannon. So this has been expertly defended so far from Hydra.
Yep. Oh, no cancel either on that cannon.
Yes.
That really hurts. This could potentially be the shortest game in WCS history. Tasteless.
We're making history.
Great micro from Elfie here, though. Kind of a weird fight to take from Hydra. I'm not quite so sure about that.
I like that move, sending 3 Zerglings into the main base, because there is absolutely nothing in the main base.
But just 3. I mean,
3 is still very annoying.
pretty annoying.
Does Hydra have a spine crawler? He doesn't, right?
No, I
It's
don't
a
think
little
so.
bit risky. You probably want to get a spine before you take one more bad fight against these Zealots, and suddenly you lose.
He's entering into Elfie's world right now. This is like
Yeah.
Hydra has played in this situation 3 or 4 times. Elfie
Every
lives
sing-
here. Lives here.
He was born here.
You merely chose the darkness. I was born of it.
These zealots actually take out the queen. That's nice, but there is one more queen, and
They're
that's
deep red, though.
Yeah,
and he's so casual, even injects. It's like, I'll turn around and shoot you in a second. There he goes.
And look at the amount of Zerglings that are on the way now. That's actually enough Zerglings to probably take out this cannon. Here you go. These 3 Zerglings, they're so annoying,
They've
man.
been annoying.
Yep.
But the Zerglings, now this is the curious part. Are they going to... I wonder if they're going to run. But I think that's
Oh,
actually
Sarah?
the first kill, though, by the way. No, it's 2.
2. But a lot of lost mining time.
See, now that Zealot going forward.
Now
is
you can
really
actually
silly.
take out the cannon. There's no Zealot there to protect it.
Yeah.
There's more than enough links to kill the cannon.
And he will.
Yep.
Coming down now.
And that's where things get very, very dicey for Alfie. I love how Hydra just throws down the hatchery immediately as well. He's like, alright, these shenanigans are over. I'm gonna take out this pylon. I'm gonna take out the pylon that's powering your gateway. Right now, Alfie has to be very quick with building... well, I guess that gateway will
Go
survive for a
wall
while.
in somewhere.
Yeah. Or he's just gonna march across the map. Maybe he's gonna get a defensive cannon. 1 base cannon! You know you're in trouble when you're
He's in a
building a
tough
cannon
spot.
in your main base against the Zerg on 1 base.
And he knows, like, yeah, he's just going to defend this ramp to get to 1 base while the Zerg's taking an expansion and probably a 3rd fairly soon if he really wants to.
There's absolutely no reason for Hydra to drop a gas right now. There's really no need for that. He has absolute map control. These Zerglings could still be very frustrating. One of the links squeezes by actually. So for now, LV is going to stabilize, but he's stabilizing on 1 base.
Yeah.
Is that really
Honestly, with how many
stabilizing?
Zerglings died there, I would cancel almost everything and go take a Nexus.
Yeah,
Like,
you
let
may
the
as well.
Cyber Score finish, but just, I mean, that's his only, what are you going to do? Oh, actually, there's more Zerglings mid-map, so actually don't listen to Control. He would probably die right there.
Slow Zerglings will take out the
Cancel
Nexus.
everything, expand.
And then GG.
I'm actually surprised that Hydra was dropping 2 extractors before going up to 3 hatcheries.
Well, to be honest, the thought process there is probably like being up a base is advantage enough, and this guy is already so weird that I don't want to overextend and then get 4 gated or something like that, you know,
That's
or even 5 gated.
Yeah, I can definitely get behind that thought process. It makes a lot of sense. The Forge is down for Alfie, so even if he has plans to 4-gate, it's not going to be a 4-gate with +1, so Zerglings will be able to do quite okay. He's
Kevin, by the way, it's really subtle. I want to point this out before we get too far away from it. A real subtle thing that I like a lot, Hydra could have picked off that pylon. He didn't have great surface area on it, but he could have scooted some Zerglings around the Forge and had at least 3 on it.
Yeah.
But he saw that his Zealot was being chrono boosted, and he knew he had more than enough Zerglings to kill that. So he let it finish to like maximize on the kill there. Does it have a huge impact in the game? No. But little things like that separate your Hydras from basically everybody else.
Yeah, it's an extra 100 minerals down the drain for Alfie.
And
Got
a chrono boost.
Yeah, he got absolutely no return investment out of it. So indeed, well done. Hydra going up to Leia now. Could make a Hydra push. Could go 2-base Spire. A little tribute to Cats, his captain.
I like it. And I mean, I gotta tell you, like, as we're getting further away from the openings of this game, you can kind of see the breadth of the deficit. 23 Harvesters to the 38 of Hydra. Supply 47 versus a capped out Elfie. You know, it's like it's getting worse and worse.
You know, I
Go
do want to
ahead.
ask you a question, Jeff, because in the past we've seen world-class Koreans like Hydra still play pretty stubborn against a player like Alfie. They'll go hatch first, no scout. Do you think the fact that Hydra lives in the foreign scene helps him to make adjustments like this and just scouts immediately? Probably Cat's telling him as well, like, hey, scout against Alfie. Alfie's pretty weird.
Absolutely. I think that's a big part of it. I mean, knowing your opponent, even, like, so there's a little bit of it, you know, you think back to even the days where, like, Flash dominated Brood War.
Yeah.
And even
Hype overseers?
in the Korean scene, well, he wants to know everything, I guess.
I think he's going to troll. I think he's going to contaminate a bunch of buildings.
Okay.
I don't know why. Maybe contaminate Cybercore.
It's actually not a bad idea. Like, it's funny that it's coming out in a troll form, but it's actually good. But to finish my story, even back then, like, Flash was so far and above better than everybody else that he kind of knew going into matches that people were going to do weird stuff against him. So he played super safe, and he would scout his opponents, like, overly. And like, it wasn't like true Flash form. It was more just like he knew that he was getting targeted from a specific build.
Bunch of roaches are on the way for Hydra, so if Alfie would have a robotics facility, there's absolutely no way he would ever get an Immortal out.
Right now,
because
he's like, oh, jeez.
that would get contaminated for days. I guess these overseers can start dropping creep at potential base. I have no idea what he's going to do with all these...
He's having fun. He's letting his hair out. I like the contaminate idea, though. I've actually thought about that. Like, overseers are not expensive, and we all know that feel when you're like making a Colossus or starting an upgrade and they come and contaminate it. It just takes forever to finish.
Yeah, I've thought about this as well, but the Zerg players will always say that overseers are actually expensive and that you can't afford that much gas.
But they say that about everything.
That's
like,
true.
hey guys,
like,
make Nidus rooms. They're like, do you know how much a Nidus room costs?
Do you know how expensive roaches are? It's like 25 gas? Like, really, guys? Like,
yeah, but 75 minerals too.
Look,
like, that's my voice in control.
Overlord speed is about to finish off, so...
That's what he's waiting for, I guess.
Yeah. Alright, Contaminate Madness. Some cheeky force fields there going down. Most of these roads will get picked off, but Alfie doesn't even want to bother anymore.
GG timing.
Yeah, that came kind of
That's like an emotional one. It's like 5 overseers. It's like, I'm just stop. Just stop. I understand. I get it. Message received.
That's like when you leave against a Terran when you're losing a battle and you know it's the type of Terran that drops mules, so you just tap out very quickly so he can't drop the mules.
And they're talking about taking the mule away. Yeah. That was one of my favorite, like, one of the first posts from a Terran I saw was, how am I supposed to bad manner my opponents if I can't manner mule them? It's like, well, everything still dances. You can do that. But you know what? Elfie tried something. He tried something super risky. We were talking about this earlier with Kalizer and saying, you know, maybe he should try mech or some kind of proxy barracks, something to disrupt the monster that is Hydra, but he never did it, played straight up and got just as butchered. So I expect this from Alfie. I think, unfortunately for him, so did Hydra. So we'll have to see what he's going to bust out in Game 2.
Yeah, it really helps for Hydra so much that he's on a foreign team, talks with his teammates as well. They probably prepare him for crazy shenanigans like this.
Cats has like a profile on Alfie. He's like, no.
Hydra's like, maybe double hatch before pool, and Cats is like, no, absolutely not, Hydra. You're going to go pool first, and you will scout with a drone. Okay, boss.
He's like, what about on Cactus Valley? He's like, no.
Nope.
You're 2 drone scouting on this map. You're pool first, and you're hatching only at minute 9.
And you'll still be ahead.
Yeah.
Don't worry. He's like, really, boss? Absolutely, Hydra.
His base will be in 4 different corners. There'll be Dark Templar coming at the same time as Oracles. You just have to be ready for it.
I really love the 5 overseers, and I kind of wonder what he wants to do with it. But
yeah, it took a while to set that up. I was expecting more. Like, just fly him in and start pooping on stuff. That's what they do.
I mean, they need to get a little bit of energy, right? I don't think they have energy
it's
to
75, I think.
Do they spawn with 75 or 50?
They spawn with 50, but by the time they get there, it's usually about 75. He was setting up for something. I mean, we saw Overlord speed as well, so he wanted them to zip in there. Maybe he was going to do like a changeling bomb thing. That's actually something that we theorized at the beginning of, actually at the end of Wings of Liberty, we're talking about, oh, it's so cool, like in the big fights, you dump like 45 changelings and you can trap a Protoss army. And it's actually true, but again, it's expensive.
I think I played a game against Cats once, the team manager of Hydra, where he put a changeling on hold position on top of my ramp, and I didn't know it was his changeling, so I was trying to get into my base to defend against Mutalisk, and all my units were dropping.
Why are they not moving?
And I was like, where are my stalkers? And then suddenly I realized, like, wait a minute, that cell is not mine.
It's one of the coolest things.
Yeah.
Like, when you see it happen in a meaningful game, you're like, I'm not even mad. No. I'm actually super impressed.
Yeah, I wasn't that mad either on that moment. Like, I was really mad when my stalkers didn't enter the main base. I was like, this is really dumb. Like, why are my units not listening? And then it's like, I see what he did there. I was like, I can appreciate that play. That's a good play.
Well played.
Our second map is going to be played on Cactus Valley. Like we previously mentioned, the winner of this series will move on into WCS Premier League round of 16. The loser will move on to the deciders match and go up against our Brazilian Terran, Kalizer. On the right top side of Cactus Valley, we're looking at the main base of the last minute replacement. It is Alfie. A big cat fan. A very big cat fan. Channel your inner Pekka. That is his thing.
His fans are all, I've seen him in the threads and the chats. Really cool. It's cool to have your own thing like that. Very, very awesome. And his opponent, the defending champion and the runner-up from Season 1. It's Hydra.
That is a very solid track record, by the way. You know, he made the move to America, and of course, he made it with only one purpose. He wanted to do extremely well. He's not moving to America for a quarterfinals or a round of 16. No. That would be very disappointing. Like, if you put things in contrast to, let's say, 4GG, you know, a Korean that's been living in Europe, even won a DreamHack Winter. If you look at the results that Hydra posted in WCS and 4GG was semifinals Season 1 or quarterfinals, even quarterfinals. I think he lost against Bolt. And then Season 2, he went out in the round of 16. And then you look at Hydra, so solid, so consistent, finals and runner-up. I mean, that's amazing. You gotta applaud him for that.
It's amazing. And there's no excuses to be made there. He put in the work. He moved here, you know, quite literally. You cannot just travel in and play the WCS system. You got to move there. And he's embedded himself, and he's making do on it. So really good story there. Elfie, down 0-1, is going to go with a little bit more of a standard opening we've seen. Well, so far, we've seen this kind of opening, especially from, again, those European Protosses. Just going to go Gateway, even Cybernetics Core, and then Nexus. and work up to about 3 gates, a bunch of sentries, and take a third. That's one of the options, and that's the more standard one. Or you can actually lean out, start trickling pylons across the map, and really apply pressure, something we've seen from Lilbo and Petit Drogo, the young French Protosses that are really tearing up the scene right now. That style has been very successful lately.
It is hedge first, by the way, in game number 2 for Hydra. He does follow it up with a very quick gas, so he's still going to have access to Zergling speed very quickly, which is going to give him a lot of map control and should spot any potential pylons going up anywhere near his side of the map. But it is hedge first. I've seen players kind of rush, man, on 4-player maps.
I have too.
Try Wiedemans. Yeah, you've seen yourself, Jeff. You dirty Protos. I've watched your stream.
Of course, man.
I know what you're capable of.
Absolutely. Cannon rushes. But no, Elfie's not going to opt for that. He's going to... The kind of bigger question... Yeah, okay, he's going to expand behind this, and he has his Zealot coming out as well, just to make sure that if there was any kind of speedling attack, he'd at least have it sealed off with a reliable Zealot.
You know, I'm just thinking it must feel so good to be Hydra right now and just know that you're so good at this game that he's probably quite relaxed. For a lot of people, such a big series, you know, there's so much on the line, so much money. This could really make or break the end of your year. And then you're Hydra and you're just like, you know,
Kevin, you bring up a really good point. He's like, I think it's 100% going to BlizzCon. So the points actually don't matter for him at all. He's already won 4,500, but of course that's just silly. He's going to win quite a bit more. So he's literally just piling on winnings on top of an already successful year in an environment where winning WCS is about more money and it's about honor and a good result, which of course all players want. But the end goal of going to BlizzCon, he's got that locked up.
Yep. And of course, let's not forget, in the previous years, just making it to BlizzCon already guarantees yourself of $5,000 as well. So even if you end up going out in the first round of BlizzCon, still walk away with $5,000. At least that was the case in the previous years.
I'm sure it's something like that. Or I mean, again, it's for him. He's living in the Northern California region, so he gets to just travel down to Disneyland territory, see a lot of awesome fans, be a part of the best StarCraft event of the year.
I went to Buffalo Wild Wings with Hydra, and we ordered the most spicy wings. And he said, like, yeah, I'm very good with spicy food. But me and Cats were actually way better. And poor Hydra, he didn't like his wings.
You beat him in something?
Yeah, I know. I will never beat him in StarCraft, but I did beat Hydra in a spicy wing eating contest.
Hey man, it's a small victory.
I'm proud of it.
And speaking of being good to be Hydra, this Overlord's just in position to absolutely be like, okay, that's what you're doing. Gets here before the warp and jumps on the Zealot, has the confidence with. He's actually keeling off a couple of Zerglings. And I don't know that he has, well, actually, just a trickle of Warpins coming in right now. I don't know that he'll actually get either of these. He gets the one pylon, okay, but the other one's going to go up. Now, again, keep in mind, this looks disastrous in results right here, but actually, Elfie's not really doing some kind of mega big all-in. Behind this, more probes are coming out. A sentry was warped back at home. He's just trying to grab his attention.
Yeah, he only has one sentry at home. He has to make sure that he pays attention to it. Drop a force field if necessary. Has a little bit of energy. We'll drop a force field.
He warps in a second.
Sentry is going to survive.
Yeah, he's doing just fine. Elfie does great in those kind of low, micro, small situations. That's, I mean, we joke, but that's actually where he's at home. Like, he wants those little fights.
I mean, he was a previous Warcraft 3 player as well, on a professional team. Played for Fnatic for a while. I was teammates with him back in the days, and he was very solid in Warcraft.
Can't lose that pylon, though, and he's going to. So that puts an end to it. He lost the probe earlier. He lost the second pylon, and all of a sudden, well, never mind. I mean, Hydra's going to make a lot of Zerglings, but to be honest, that's actually good news for Elfie. Like, to get that big of a response for him is really good, because with that pylon dead, this attack is neutered. He's going to have to come back home, does Elfie.
Maybe Hydra was a little bit paranoid. There may be another pylon somewhere, and then if he suddenly fires up 12 drones, a few more gateway units show up, and suddenly he's in a little bit of trouble. Hydra playing this perhaps overly safe, but he's still in a pretty okay position. He's still on 3 hatcheries, and let's not forget that even though Elfie didn't commit that much to this opening, he does have pretty late tech now. There's no Twilight yet, there's no robotics facility.
Doing a good job here, though, even thinning out that, again, kind of resupply of Zerglings. I have to imagine Elfie's looking to take a third here. A thing that's normally very difficult on this map, you have to go outside of your natural, down into lower ground, where a lot of times, you know, Roach or Hydra concaves can be hard to deal with. But you can kind of make up that difference by expanding earlier on and having the bolstered economy that'll give you the units to be able to handle that concave.
Twilight going down now for Elfie. Couldn't agree more, of course, Jeff. But, you know, Elfie tried something crazy in game number 1. Didn't work. May as well just try to play normal in game number 2 and hope that maybe Hydra overcommits to an attack. Maybe you can drop a couple of great force fields. Because no matter how good the Zerg is, force fields are still pretty terrifying to deal with if you are Zerg and you play Roach Hydra.
And Elfie has good force fields, by the way. I mean, say what you want about his APM. He is all over the place. He'll do weird builds. Look no further than game number 1. But his army control is actually some of the top-notch stuff.
Look at the amount of overlords that Hydra just fired up. I feel like he's going to produce an insane amount of units now because he had 7 overlords in production. You don't do that if you don't want to start producing roaches and hydras and just rally them across the map and try to end the game immediately.
Looks like that is what is coming out. 8 hydras, 9. Just the +1 range attack so far.
Does he have a roach speed? Does he even have a roach wine? No, he doesn't have a roach wine. Oh, he does, yeah.
Yeah, it's with the natural.
But he doesn't have roach speed. I guess it was just a safety roach wine. It's kind of weird to just only make hydras and just rally them across the map.
Hydra Ling against Stalker Sentry is not that weird. It's pretty common.
Yeah, but on cross-map Cactus Valley, and he doesn't have... Because he's only on 61 workers. It's not
It is
that
hazardous,
many.
Kevin. I super agree with you. And again, those good force fields, like, look at this. It's this. I mean, it is 61 drones and go, go, go. Elfie, to be honest, if he was going to stand a chance in this game, he would need Hydra to do something like this, where Hydra's putting it on the line a little bit. If this attack doesn't pay off in dividends, he's going to be behind.
Elfie made some pretty remarkable holds in his first game against Starbuck, despite the fact that he did end up losing it because there were just so many roaches.
Yeah.
But you complimented him on his force field control as well. He took some really great engagement.
Zergling's going around for the flank.
Yeah, that
oh
could get
god,
very
they're getting
naughty.
baited. They're coming out. They're looking to grab some force fields. Okay, good. He does back up a little bit. But he has to be careful about that back attack. And here come the Zerglings to get
so
a good
well done.
surround. So much surface area of that is sentries with low DPS. They're dying. The force fields are all over the place. He's just dead. That's it. I mean, once you lose that many sentries, GG is called out. Elfie, you're going to have to do battle with a fellow foreigner because Hydra is going to collect his check. He's going to smile and grin. And he's going to get out of here. He 4-0'd it in quick fashion.
That was very well done by Hydra, though. He makes it look like, hey, this is all I have. You know, drop a couple force fields, go zone out these Hydras, let a couple squeeze through. Because as a Protoss, you always want to zone out a couple Hydras, and then all those links come from the north side and just wrap around those sentries.
Guys, it's not super common. Like, guys, for people tuning in, like, it's not so common in StarCraft where we're like, all right, Elfie, like, because Elfie has this, like, completely composed look of, like, yeah, I totally, like, nobody's shocked here. Hydra's like, yeah, thank you for playing for 10 minutes. I need to go. I got a flight tomorrow. And Elfie's like, all right, I was already thinking about Kalazar anyways. But it's not usually like that. But Hydra is leaps and bounds better than most of these guys. He's going to be a bear to remove before that final.
I don't think he has a flight tomorrow. I think he has a flight at 5 p.m. He's like, 2 best of 3s, you know, winners
like,
match
that
at
should be
3.
fine.
Like, yeah,
That
I'll
should be
make
fine.
it. You know, right before Rush Hour kicks in the LA area. No, just a very solid, convincing performance by Hydra. We didn't expect anything else. There's a reason why we hype him up so much. There's a reason why he's the reigning champ. There's a reason why he's the runner-up.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't, like, especially this group as well. You know, the boys were talking about players that could potentially beat Hydra. I definitely think there are a couple. I'm thinking of Snoot, personally. You know, I know Snoot had you know, Season 2 just didn't go his way. He lost very early on. But let's not forget that Snoot did take out Hydra in Season 2 group stage as well. Once again,
Lilbo's out there, the guy that faced him in the finals. It was, I'm not going to call it a super close finals, but definitely Lilbo had his chances, and he did take a game off of Hydra. So there are guys out there, and it's not just Polt, but at least here in the round of 32, it's group. Hydra and Hail Hydra all day long, man. He did it. So I think we actually have an interview with him right now.
Yes, we do indeed. Here with Hydra, of course, Huck and I are going to pick his brain a little bit, but congratulations on moving to the round of 16 as In Control and Rotterdam were saying. Not a big surprise, but still a congratulations, yeah, for sure. How confident were you coming into this group? I mean, were you, along with everyone else, like, definitely going to make it to the round of 16?
Yeah, I was confident. And, yeah, I wanted to advance as a first place because I always go round of 16 through the decide match. So, yeah, I wanted to advance as a first place this time.
Yeah. It's
Who'd you lose to last season? Where you got second place? Moro?
Lilbo.
Lilbo?
Yeah.
Oh.
First season? First season Moro.
Yeah, first season was Moro, yeah. So, well, yeah, now you're sitting pretty comfortable as that first seed in the round of 16. I mean, looking, you know, sometimes we worry, like, reigning champion, are they still on form and whatnot, but it looks like, if anything, you're still just getting better and better. How are you feeling about this whole season? Are you going to go for it again? Like, are you confident that you can defend that trophy, or are you still like, well, Little Bo was pretty good last season, maybe Polt? Like, are you worried at all about some of those other names?
I feel like my condition has been getting better after the WCS Season 2. Yeah, actually, I took a vacation after Season 2 for a month. Yeah, then my condition is getting better now, and I really have confidence.
Nice, yeah. I mean, in the games, I mean, Huck, obviously the games are pretty straightforward. I don't know if there's much to ask in terms of specifics here, but if you had any questions about the games
the first game you drone scouted, is that because it was against Elfie in particular?
Yeah, I was trying to find his style, but I couldn't find any specific beauties. So, yeah, that's just people say he's
Crazy?
Yeah, I know.
No, it's okay. You can say crazy.
He's trying to his own special build. So,
Yeah, unique.
I just scout.
Yeah.
Per se.
Yeah, well, I mean, it played out very safely for you. Now, before we wrap up, I want to ask you specifically. Yesterday, Polt said, well, everyone knows that I'm the only one who can beat Hydra, and Hydra's the only one who can beat me. Do you believe that Polt's the only one, or even Polt can beat you, or are you like completely undefeatable right now in Season 3?
I was fun when I heard his interview because I think he's the only one who can beat me. Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, he has more chance than other players, but I don't think I'm the only person who can beat him.
So you think he's weaker?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. We'll have to find out. Of course, in Season 2, you got your revenge after Season 1 in the finals. But congratulations once again, moving on to the round of 16. We'll be seeing you in Poland for the round of 16 and maybe even going forward to the brass stage of Season 3. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not done just yet, though. One more seed to determine in Group B. Who's going to take that second seed and join us in Poland after this break?